Okay, I think I'm live. You're live. We're building an audience for you. That's what it says.
Okay. Good luck.
So I just look for the questions on this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I see some emojis coming across. That's cool. Hey, everybody. I'm here to talk about pipelines. Got any questions? Hit me. So let's talk about pipelines. First of all, while you're here, let me show you the Emmys, which I think is kind of cool because we won some Emmys last night in Shark Tank. How about that? Yeah, Shark Tank did it. That's what's cool. So here's a good question. Somebody asked me, why don't I invest in renewable energy? I do. But the problem is, no matter where you are in the world, you cannot get on an airplane right now and fly with solar or wind. So there's certain needs for energy, for hydrocarbons. And so while that is around, let's say the next 25 years, each country that is investing in infrastructure, that would be pipelines, for example, needs to maximize what they can make off oil while they have oil. That's basically the bottom line. So at the end of the day, that's what I care about. I worry about, can we get, for any country, their fair share of the income from basically energy. That's why I do it. So I think I'm okay with pipelines, but rather than have politicians debate it all the time, what I'd rather do is do a referendum and simply ask voters, do you want pipelines or not? You decide. That's the whole issue. And so if 51% of the people want them, we'll build them. If 51% of the people don't want them, we'll stop talking about it. It's that simple. That's my strategy. And the reason I like it is you take it away from the politicians that are squabbling about it not getting the people's work done. And not only that, this strategy has been used in Switzerland for decades and is very, very successful, not just in pipelines, but for any issue of national importance. Now here's another question. I like this. Someone's watching from Ireland. That's good. So I did an informal poll because I wrote that article last week. You can see it on Facebook. And thousands and thousands and thousands of people responded to it. So I asked them all, if you could vote today, would you vote for pipelines? Yes or no? And to my surprise, 72% said they'd rather have pipelines than not because they felt it was the safest way to transport oil. So I think if we have a referendum, the likely outcome is going to be that people want pipelines. And I think once we have that, people can stop talking about it and get the work done. And they're not forever. I don't think oil is going to be an energy source in perpetuity. I think we'll find better energy sources over time, but now we need it. And while we need it, let's do it the most efficient way we can. That's the bottom line. I love this. I'm getting lots and lots of questions about this. And by the way, yeah, that is an Emmy. We're so proud of it. That's our third Emmy. Shark Tank's won 3 times. Isn't that fantastic? I'm pretty excited about it. So getting lots of questions about running for Prime Minister of Canada. Okay, I'm interested in that. My thoughts are this. I'm interviewing all the other candidates to see if there's one that I can back, which would be good. And if I do that, then I'll back that person, and they can be the opposition leader and eventually take over the country. But I'm always going to stay involved in financial and economic decisions because that's really what I'm focused on. I like to create jobs, and I think that's the key of any government is, can they grow the economy? Because a growing economy solves for a lot of problems, and that's really what I'm all about, trying to figure that out. And pipelines are part of it. Now, here's a question about oil spills. Are pipelines perfect? No, they are not. There's always problems with any technology that moves oil. But are they safer than, let's say, trucking or shipping? Yes. So I'd rather have the safest, even knowing that occasionally there can be a problem, versus what we saw happen on rail, or what we already seen happen multiple times when ships crash and all the oil spills out of them. That's really bad for the environment. So I'm a pipeline fan. While we need oil, let's transport it the safest way, and to me, that's a pipeline. Just looking at all these questions pouring in. So I'm getting a lot of questions about Shark Tank here too. So, what we're going to do today at 4 o'clock, Robert and I, Lori, Damon, and Mark, we're heading over to Dancing with the Stars, and we're going to be part of the show. So if you see us there live today, that's because we're promoting our season opener next Friday. Shark Tank Season 8 starts next Friday. We're going to let everybody know that on ABC's Dancing with the Stars. And then tomorrow we're back in the studio filming more Shark Tank. I got to get up at 5 a.m. for that. We shoot from 5 in the morning till 10 at night. That's how long it takes me from when I leave the hotel to get back. Very exhausting. Okay, I'll do a couple more on the pipeline side here. I'm just catching up with some of these questions. So what is the main obstacle in getting pipelines built? Oh, this will be my last question. I'll tell you what it is. It's politicians. You've got municipal politicians, state, in the case of the U.S., and provincial in Canada, and federal politicians. They love to squabble. They like to get headlines. They don't like to get anything done. That's all I've seen for the last 10 years. That's why I want to do this referendum idea. Just take it away from them. Brexit, for example, the British vote, you all recall, that was actually not legal. There was no legal teeth to it. Nobody had to do what the vote said. But everybody had the moral obligation after the people let them, politicians know they wanted to leave the EU, that that's exactly what they're doing. That's what I love about these referendums. They're just a vote, no legal teeth, but once you know the will of the people, woe behold, every politician will do the will of the majority. That's the whole idea of why you do it in the first place. All right, guys, listen, thank you very much for checking in. Yeah, and what would I do in the vote? I'll vote for pipelines, actually. I endorse them. But I'm pretty comfortable with my decision. Anyways, see you on Shark Tank. Take care. And oh yeah, let me do this just before I sign off. This is the classic move, Number 3. Bye-bye.